Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you all so much for being here. And let me see who was here first. Of course, there are no prizes, but you get major street cred. I hope everybody in the path of the storm yesterday is doing well, although there were some casualties. Arkansas. There was a theater that had the roof ripped off. I think maybe one person died in that situation. Wow, it was quite a storm. So, Marcy Foreman, thank you so much for being here. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer, happy Saturday to you. But yeah, so there was quite the storm. Let me take a look here and see what I can see. Um, Nashville, no, not Nashville. Let me see here. But yeah, it was wow. Okay. Okay. They're gonna have a bunch of well, they would do that anyway. Okay, never mind. But yeah, anyway, so just pray for those who have been affected. This has been quite a season for the tornadoes. It has been quite the tornado season. Okay, and they're not even sure if that theater was hit by a tornado, but even the high winds are enough, like 90 mile per hour winds is quite devastating. So, wow, the you never know what nature can do until you're in the middle of it. All right. Hello, Lydia Washington. Big Mama's here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get on with it then. So it was a good week. It was a very good week. Otherwise, let me see here. I'm just scrolling through, making sure there are no super chats, no super stickers. Oh, there is a super sticker. Thank you so much, Martha 2021. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. You guys are having quite a conversation. All right. So I hope I didn't miss anything. The very last is Teresa McDougall. Hello, Mr. Barron, all the Royal Sussex family. Happy Saturday. Sending prayers to all who are affected by the storm. Yes, indeed. Okay. Hello, Verda Sanchez. Verda Sanchez says, yes, ma'am, Miss Connie. The cooler, big, heavy cooler was built. Only thing left standing besides the small bathroom, well, with a truck on top. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I told you guys when you look at the photos or the videos from some of these storms, it's amazing how you can see like a whole area has been flattened, right? And yet you see there's a house, same with earthquakes too. You see there's a house where maybe a whole wall has been sheared off, but there's a kitchen table with coffee cups on it. There's a bed that is made. No photos or anything are crooked on the wall. Everything looks pretty normal except for the fact you're seeing straight through to someone's bathroom. I am always fascinated by that. But yeah, such is the power of nature. You like during the tsunami, uh, those various tsunamis that we've witnessed, especially the one in Japan and Indonesia. Who knew that the force of water could be so destructive like that? So, um, I guess the moral of the story is there's really no place that is prone from natural disaster. I remember they had the earthquake in Washington, D.C. Who knew they could have an earthquake in Washington, D.C.? But yeah, they had to do some repairs on the um, Washington Monument, which that is the tallest masonry structure in the world, the Washington Monument. Um, it is all load bearing blocks of stone. It doesn't have a steel frame, which is why it's actually pretty vulnerable, if you ask me. But it's built pretty much the same way the old cathedrals are built, which that earthquake also damaged the National Cathedral. Um, Funny though, most people don't even know we have one, but I believe it's an Episcopal church. But we do have a National Cathedral. Uh, Nothing like, the old world cathedrals, but we do have one. Okay, so I found a couple of more of these. Check it out. I don't think I've shared this one with you, which people overlooking the area where the Queen consort and Charles was located. I think it's just an absolute hoot. But yeah, you have the cardboard cutout. So the other image that I showed you maybe yesterday, that was not the only one. Then there's this guy who's just kind of hanging out with Meghan and Harry. But yeah, love that. What? We had a tornado in Montebello, California 3 days ago. Okay, is that close to San Francisco? Because I thought there was something like that close to the Bay Area. But yeah, it just goes to show it could happen just about anywhere, right? Unusual for California, I'm sure, but not unheard of. Wow, that's interesting. AW says again, anyone notice that Harry has a lot more hair on top of his head? Ancient Chinese secret Meg is using to grow her husband's hair. I thought Calgon was the ancient Chinese secret, according to those old commercials. We need more Calgon. My husband, some hotshot, here's his ancient Chinese secret, Calgon. Calgon's two water softener softens wash water so detergents clean better. In hardest water, Calgon gets clothes up to 30% cleaner. I know that commercial. I remember that commercial from when I was a kid. But, it's kind of, it depends on the length of Harry's hair, right? And it also depends on, let's see, it also depends on I guess, the light, the shadows, the lights and such. I think that has a lot to do with it. But yeah, I don't think that, who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's something going on, but I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Let me see. Baron Montebello was in Southern California, tore roof off and carried a few cars with it. Wow. Never heard of such. Church Nelly, what are you saying? We have a troll? Which one was a troll? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I guess I see what you mean. Well, I guess. Let me see here. Meghan is taking good care of her man. I don't, yeah, almost as a rule, we never really talk about that. So yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, that's what I thought. He just looks the same. He looks the same as he always looks. Hey Rick, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Yeah, light and shadow always makes a difference. That's why I hate when I hear people. I hate when I see, like, when they talk about that a magazine is trying to make a person lighter or darker. The lighting is everything, and it depends on. I don't know. Like, you could have two camera phones take a photo, and one is going to be lighter and darker than the other if you do absolutely nothing to it. Um. Oh. Okay. Oh. All right. I guess I'm in too good of a mood to be like suspicious of anything. But I guess we never really can rest, can we? Oh, well, then we should get rid of that person. Yeah, we definitely don't want that here. Let me see here. Okay. Well, maybe a timeout is in order, and then of course eventually a exile. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I guess that would be a trolling event, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. User blocked. It is all sorted. There you go. Okay, let me block this person. Okay, there we go. All right, all right. Let me see here. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the soup. Oh, let me try that again. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for watching. Roy Sussex. Uh, okay. Oh, okay. So no wonder that looked weird. All right. Okay. Let me see. When am I going to sing? That happens spontaneously. Okay. All right. Anyway, on to the next one then. So I did not notice the photo on the left side with all of the eye candy photos that we received in the past few days. Somehow that one, I missed it. Um, but I think that I'm going to have to use that in one of my future, like when I update the Ginger Avenger video, I'm going to have to slide that one in there. I love that photo. I mean, if that doesn't look like he's about to take off and fly with his cape, I don't know what it looks like, but very cool. And then also the one on the right side, I would say that was the one on the left is the second day because it rained that day. And then the one on the right, that was the first day when he made that very ninja stealth like move from the taxi, the Mercedes taxi. But rest and relaxed and yeah, I mean, just when the truth is on your side, then at that point, nothing can hurt you. And that's the look that he has right there. The truth is on my side. The world is going to take notice of what these people have been doing to myself and to my family. And, if it, and Harry doesn't hide his feelings that well. So he must be in a good place. He must be in a darn good place right there. Alma Andrews, thank you for being a member and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me see here. What is that? Church Nelly says, Look, people, the hair and Harry's. What? Just saying. Okay. Listen, the whole hair thing getting weird now. Prince's eyes wide open and clear. I'm coming for your media trolls. Thank you, Kim Peaches. I like that. Listen, you guys, there is a lot going on when you're doing these lives, and it is very difficult to multitask like that. But some days things are just going to slip through. And since it has, I see that it's opened a floodgate. Enough already with the hair. Enough. Let me see. But yeah, this is there's a lot going on. I can't describe it, but it's like you're playing multiple music instruments at one time. It could be very much like that. So let's move on. And then, of course, there was this wonderful comment from Peace. Peace lives in the UK, and if anybody else in all of the Sussex Squad deserves to wear a cape, it is Peace, because Peace have so often shown up at certain occasions, and not only does she show up, but she also shows out, and that is very, very commendable. So you will definitely see Peace at the Invictus. So look for that. Um, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find it. Um, I just got struck with a notion. In the meantime, go ahead and take a listen to this one.
About how the media inflames this. I was called the Sun newspaper. If you don't know what the Sun is, it's sort of
got the topless girl on page 3. That's all you need to
and they
know.
called me about a month ago to ask if I'd write about how Meghan was like Wallace and Meghan was going to destroy the royal family and the arguments between Meghan and Kate. And I said, I'm really sorry, I'm just not privy to all this. I don't think I could do it. And the commissioning editor was really twisting my arm to write this article and say, but you could say, couldn't you, that X happened, and you could say that she's fired all her staff, and you could say that Kate has said this. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, I don't know that, I can't do it. And this conversation went on for about half an hour. I didn't write the article, but it just gives you an insight into how this whole thing is being, you know, the flames are being fanned by the media.
You've heard the phrase cottage industry. This is a palace industry. Yes.
Okay, so that particular video, it's been out for a while, and it really goes to the root of things, because I want to say that video has been out for, maybe 2018, 2019. And that is like some kind of college lecture or sit down or maybe a book signing or something like that. But my goodness, does it not get to the root of exactly what Harry's argument is? Not only about the, not directly with the phone hacking and stuff like that, but with the lengths that the tabloids will go to in order to make a story, or to get a story, or just to have material to print. It doesn't seem to be any limit to what they're capable of. And so, they're trying to actively recruit her. Well, you could say, or you might say, yeah, so those types of things can happen quite often, and it's what could I say? It is the best evidence of what is at the root of it, and that is this billion-dollar industry to go well. first of all, it started with going after the Sussexes, and then they realized that it turns quite a profit. So during those quiet periods when they don't see Meghan for months at a time, or during those periods where Harry's not out or available as much, um, you'll find that they're not making as much money. And so the one thing that we learned from Harry's visit to the UK to go to the High Court is that this pretense that they have some type of like insider in Montecito. Well, we all know at this point that there is not one. There is no one that they can call upon. There are no leaks in Montecito. And Harry even was able to take a photograph on the way to London, and they had no clue of it. And I told you when I first saw the photograph, I didn't even bother because I just thought, oh, that's an old photo. I didn't think it was real, or I didn't think it was new. I didn't think much about it. I didn't even, usually the first thing I would want to do is save it. I didn't even do that. I didn't save it until like a day or two later because I didn't think that there was anything to it. So it just goes to show that even when something like that comes out, the tabloids, trust me, they monitor everything in the Sussex Squad. They didn't bother with it because they didn't know what to make of it. So it wasn't until like half the day was over with, or for the UK, the evening, before they realized that that was a photo that was taken en route to the UK. So there's a lot of things like that that is a great indication that there is absolutely no knowledge of the inner workings of what Harry and Meghan are doing out there. So how they got to this thing about, oh, they only worked for 1 hour a week on their charity. And of course, then once you go into the story, then you'll see that it's more to it than that. But most people won't bother to do that. Most people just see the headline and think, oh God, yeah, I suspected as much. So what is that, Joy Moore? Baron, your royal Sussex anniversary is coming up very soon. And so is my birthday this month. I remember when I first started listening to you last year. Oh, cool, Joy Moore. Yes. Oh my God, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I forgot. April 15th. Yeah. I'm so busy thinking about tax time, among other things. But yeah, 2 weeks. Well, thank you for the reminder, because I don't know why I'm still thinking that it's like eons away. And you know what else? The coronation will be here before you know it. I don't suspect that the Sussexes are going, but that will be here. Hey, did you guys listen to Celibacy today? It was on today, and my God, they were funny. They were funny. They were dropping a couple of F-bombs and everything, but it was so funny. Let me see. What is that? Huh, really? Okay. Let me see. Yes, today is April Fool's Day, and trust me, I have absolutely nothing for April Fool's Day. Elaine Parker, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so right here, this is something that I noticed, right? Right? They used one of your phrases, Mo Shannon. Something about a bag of something. But yeah, they used one of your phrases. I was shocked. I'm like, I didn't know they talk like that. Okay, an £8 million government-funded scheme is offering public authorities a chance to claim a free portrait of the king. Councils courts, schools, police forces, and fire and rescue services will be among the UK's institutions across that will be offered a new a new official portrait photograph. The Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, Oliver Dowden, said the portrait, which has yet to be released, will serve as a visible reminder in building up and down the prize. Official portrait has yet to be released by the Royal Household Organization. Will be able to request one free framed portrait. Further details of the scheme, oh, that's why it's so expensive. They're framing it, which is to open later this year, including which institutions are eligible, have yet to be announced. Oh, that's like those portraits of the Queen that they used to give out. So they want to put a portrait of Charles in every public space. I get it. The Cabinet Office also said the move follows in a tradition which has seen many institutions display official portraits of Queen Elizabeth II. Oh, so there you go. So in this period of austerity, they are going to spend £8 million to flood public spaces with images of Charles II. Interesting. Didn't I hear about something else like that where they had official portraits available? I forget. It's someplace where if you write to them, they have to give you an official portrait of the head of state. Is that Australia? And it's free of charge. It is free of charge. Or it may even be, well, I don't know. But it's some institution, and I don't remember which, where they could you could write and request a portrait, an official portrait, and they have to send you one. Oh, that's going to rack my brain. I don't know who said that. Oh, well, so that is one of their plans. Now, take a look there on the left side. No coronets, as peers told to dress down for the coronation by Buckingham Palace. Members of the House of Lords traditionally wear a special coronation robe, but peers have been told to wear their usual parliamentary ermine. So the ermine is the white fur with the black spots on it. I believe it comes from the belly, the fur from the belly of of a deer, a baby deer, something like that. Anyway, if it's the real ermine, then it's very expensive. And that is why you would always see those regal robes and regalia. They always have those white spotted robes, just like you see the crown has the hat inside of it, like the velvet hat. And that is ermine fur right there. So I do believe that comes from the belly of a foal or something like that, or a fawn foal. Anyway, it is very soft and very limited in supply. So they would all wear those to the official engagements, which involve the parliament. Now they're telling people to dress down. Really, if they are trying to limit the amount of ostentatious vulgarity, the best thing to do is just for people to wear fancy, not fancy, but just wear their dress clothes. Dress like you're going to court. That's it. Not a royal court. I mean, a court of law. Just dress like you're going to a court of law. Because if you're going to wear all of those, like anything that looks too regal, you are going to send the wrong message. Hi, cookies and cream. You're going to send the wrong message to the public at a time when you should look like people are cutting back. That's what I'm saying. And it's just as they say here, Kate Middleton is potentially breaking a major tiara tradition at the coronation. They are putting this out there ahead of the occasion just so that people will think that Charles is trying to save money. We're evicting royal family members unless they pay market rate. They're only doing that to make it seem as though they're being thrifty. There is definitely a goal behind this, and that is to garner a certain amount of public support or even sympathy. Let's see, Baron, it comes from the belly of a ermine stot, which is a type of weasel. Really? Okay. Wow. A type of where the heck do you find that? I never heard of a stot. Wow, I never heard that before. I thought it was from like a baby deer or something like that. Huh, that's interesting. Well, thank you so much. I had no idea. A type of weasel. Well, you know what? That seems to work out perfect. Um, Weasel is going in the right. The weasel is going in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. I'm with that. Yeah, I'm with that. And Fuse is, I don't understand what's wrong with the British people who going through a difficult time that can allow 8 million to be spent on Chucky's official portrait. Such selfish waste. Yeah, I mean, nowadays, how about you just put a link out there? People go down to Kinko's. I mean, why spend 8 million pounds to put something like this out there? You know, 8 million pounds for that. Uh, okay. Let's see here. Katie V, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday. Okay. So let me get rid of him first. And oh my goodness, yeah. I don't care if they were, I mean, if they are murdering a weasel, it's still Marshall, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the militant bed today. What happened? Are you accusing? Maybe those weasels died of natural causes, and their last will and testament said, "Please take the fur from my belly and give it to His Majesty the King." Perhaps, right? A weasel wearing weasel. Oh man. Okay, so and by the way, guys, this was not the photo that came with that story, but since they're always trying to find the worst photos of Harry and Meghan, I have decided to likewise pick and choose the photos that I want to share when I'm telling the story, since that's what they do. I'm doing the same thing. I try to find the worst of the worst of the worst images so that I can tell the story, because that's what they love to do with Harry and Meghan, especially that image where they look like they're kind of surprised, and they are, I hate that they only have like a handful of photos of Harry and Meghan that they use anyway, and they always tend to go to the absolute worst ones, especially when they're trying to say something negative about them. So that's what I intend to do. But I guess you guys have noticed it. Let's see. Shelly L says, Baron, let's also not forget that each of those black fur hats worn by the soldiers are made of, oh yeah, those are bearskin hats. And I remember they were going to try to use something synthetic, but it just didn't weather well with the rain and everything. So they stuck with the bearskin. But yeah, that is disgusting, especially in this day and age. And nobody says well, how come PETA doesn't get on their case? That's a good reminder, Shelly L. Thank you for that. But yeah, they are using bear skins on those big black hats that they wear. You know, when I stood there talking to one of the royal guards or whatever, I was trying to make him laugh. So I told him, I say, you know, I used to have hair like that back in the 70s. He just stumped his foot so that I would get away from him. But yeah, that's what I told him. I said, I used to have hair like that back in the 70s. Okay. That was doing my, when I thought I was the Jackson 5. So Joe Biden's mother so disliked England, she refused to sleep in bed Queen had slept in. That's right. The Joe Biden's mother hates, and it is hard to believe the level of disdain that his mother had for the Queen, for Britain, and anything English. But it's all very true. She was very, very pernicious about her dislike of anything to do with that family. So let me see here. Where is it? Let me see here. I got something to share with you. Oh, nope, that's not it. Hold on. Okay. Mother Biden
once revealed his mother so disliked England that she chose to sleep on the floor rather than in a bed in which the Queen had previously slept, according to an autobiography written by a comedian. Georgia Pritchett claims the U.S. leader made the revelation when they met in the White House during his period as vice president. Pritchett met him because she was conducting research for the hit comedy Veep, on which she had been a co-executive producer and joint writer. They were also making a film tie-in of the show. Pritchett, who is British, records that her initial conversation with Biden was about Ukraine, from which he had just returned, but this was closed down by his minders. And she wrote, he changed the subject to how much his mother hated the English. His parents were Irish, and she had written several poems about her hatred of the English. He went off to find them and returned with hundreds of poems describing how God must smite the English and rain blood on our heads. He also recalled how his mother, Catherine Finnegan, known as Jeanie, visited the UK and spent a night in a hotel where she was told the Queen had once stayed. She was so appalled that she slept on the floor all night rather than risk sleeping on a bed that the Queen had slept on, Pritchett wrote, adding, she personally admired anyone who allowed their principles to take precedence over a comfortable bed. Biden's strong Irish roots and sense of identity have never been a secret. Soon after his nomination as Democratic presidential contender, he was accosted by a BBC reporter, Nick Bryant, requesting a quick word for the BBC as the Democrat veteran passed through a crowded room. The BBC, Biden responded, before adding with a smile, I'm Irish. Biden's mother died in 2010 and has been widely regarded as an important influence in his life, living with her son after her husband died in 2002. Most accounts explain her importance to his moral values, Catholicism, and belief in family. At her funeral, he said his mother had taught the family to, never be intimidated by power, wealth, or station, that we did not have to accept social convention. Although Pritchett's autobiography, My Mess is a Bit of a Life, has been in circulation for nearly a year, the Biden family references were recently spotted by the former No 10 press secretary to Tony Blair, Alistair Campbell.
All right. And so there you have it. Let's see. Baron, I stumbled across your channel. Your storytelling of Harry and Meghan made my heart leap, and I was hooked. I love how you dressed down the young royals. I said, that's my kind of channel. Thank you so much, Shirley Slaughter. I love hearing that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I I hate a bully, and so I always felt like there was the need to push back. So that's what I felt like doing, was pushing back. Uh, but yes, thank you so much for that. Ann Fu says, because they killed a lot of Irish families when the Irish wanted independence. These royals are bullies. Oh, there you go. They call the Irish paddies. Yeah, that is actually a disparaging term that we still use here in the United States. And a lot of people don't realize that when we say the paddy wagon, that is a reference to the unusually high amount of police officers of Irish descent that filled a lot of big cities like New York and Chicago. And, that was the stereotype, that the police were all Irish. And yes, there was quite a few Irish police officers. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, they said that it was the North Side Irish gang and the South Side Italian gang that were at war with each other. And so there was an attempted hit on the North Side gang, the Irish, and they used a couple of police officers or some guys dressed as police officers to lure them into a false sense of security when they went to that garage. So yeah, and so there was always a lot of Irish police officers on the police force in Chicago, and very few Italian American officers. So that's where that patty comes from. Okay, but yeah, that's not pleasant for people of Irish descent to use the term patty. Oh, Dorothy Ross, thank you so much for the hugs. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Mackenzie says, I miss and respect that generation. My late uncle refused to drive or even ride in a Ford over segregation hiring in the 50s. Oh, I didn't realize that. Because, see, Mackenzie, there, at a certain point during the Great Migration, a lot of blacks that moved from the South to the North, some of their first jobs were at Ford and GM, and of course, International Harvester. So that I'm really surprised to hear that. Now, when it came to promoting people and such, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an issue. But wow, thank you for telling me that. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I never heard that before. I thought that I know that Henry Ford was quite the racist, though. They even said that Hitler actually had a photo of Henry Ford on his desk, and that Ford was still supplying automobiles to the Nazis long after Hitler had taken power. That Ford made a lot of money from the Nazis and supplied them with a lot of things that eventually was used against people, and that the assembly line that Ford was so famous for became a model for the Third Reich. So yeah, there's a lot of history. You guys, there's so much history with Henry Ford, and you guys know about his relationship with George Washington Carver. In some ways, George Washington Carver was like a son to him, And then in other ways, George Washington Carver, he was a very quiet person. He was a scientist, and he was also very popular in Russia because he helped the Russians agriculture with his ideas about crop rotation and growing certain things to enhance the soil. And then of course you want to grow something the next time. So um, Ford was actually what do you call it, he financially supported George Washington Carver, not just so much out of friendship, of course, but because he was a genius, and Ford was hoping to use some of his science to enhance the car company. So, lot of history with the Ford Motor Company, good and bad, and some of it rather shocking. See how much we learn from each other on Royal Sussex. That's one of my favorite things is that we yes, Marshar, it is not nice. Oh man. Okay, let me see. Annie Bullard says, Baron, since I no longer eat sausage fingers, is it for to ask for sausage patties? Okay. Well, just be careful how you ask for the sausage patty. But that's with teas. I get it. All right, let me see here. The young royals, especially Dirty Tampon, fail to realize how foolish, entitled, jealous, arrogant, xenophobic they look on the world stage by allowing their racist thugs to attack President Biden. Yeah. Let's see. Baron, we black people in the UK love the Irish. My mom told me they were together when there was a lot of segregations. Is that signs saying no blacks, no Irish, no dogs? I've seen some of those signs before when they wanted to rent property. Yeah, that was definitely a thing. So Joe Biden is not going to meet with Charles. He will turn down invitation to King Charles' coronation as Americans insist is not a snub. Well, as obvious, you don't have British royalty coming to events here. And like I recall from my youth, I remember that Ronald Reagan did not go to Diana's wedding. Nancy Reagan went. And I think that was only because there was such a close relationship between the Reagans and the Thatchers. But other than that, and also I recall when, oh gosh, what was his name? When Churchill died, the president didn't go to the funeral. When Churchill died, I think the vice president or the secretary of state, is actually unusual for a president to show up on these occasions. Now, 70 years on the throne and having just met the Queen, that's probably the only reason why Joe Biden went to the funeral. But there really is no great purpose for a president to show up. You could send the ambassador. There's no real purpose for a president to be there. It's not like they're friends. It's not like they're just one of the family or something like that. Joe Biden was showing a courtesy to the royal family and was showing respect to the Queen, having been on the throne for 70 years. But other than that, it's unusual. It's almost abnormal. How many royals go to an American president's funeral? When was the last time you heard of Charles or the Queen or anybody else for that matter going to a president's funeral? I don't recall any such occasion. So this special relationship That's all well and good, but there was also a revolution. What was it, back in 1776? There was a revolution that rid it that rid the nation of that type of deference. And so I'm pretty sure that as the president of the United States, Joe Biden understands what his obligations are where the royal family is concerned. So, no, no is no. Diane Hawkins says President Joe is following in the footsteps of Washington, Jefferson, Adams, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and every other sitting president who also did not go to a coronation for the same reason. Don't care. There you go. And Trevor Rodney says, Baron, they say beauty is within, but Nana Akua is both ugly inside and out. Trevor, I had some evidence that before she went rogue and started being so hypercritical, she was actually quite attractive, but she's done that to herself. So if she wants to, redeem herself, then she needs to stop being so hateful and making those faces and stuff like that. Ford built an entire city in Michigan called Inkster for the black workers he hired so they wouldn't try to move into the all-white Dearborn. I'm from Michigan. Oh, really? Inkster, huh? That's the name. That's interesting. Is that a real name or is that like a nickname? But yeah, Ford was all about money. All about money. There was a time that Ford, the Model T was at one time the most successful car ever. And it may still be if you make adjustment for the population and such. But the Model T, there's low tech, even for that era car. They only sold them in black. And people complained that they wanted other options. And Ford said, yeah, well, tell them they can have any color they want so long as it's black. Black was the cheapest paint. And it also even would dry faster because, of course, black draws heat. And so it would dry faster. So there was all these great reasons why black was the color of choice when it came to the Model T. And even though other manufacturers were, branching out into other colors, Ford refused because bottom line is we got to make some money. And it was very successful. So, but yeah, Henry Ford was quite a character. Let me see here. Nope, I don't think it has anything. One has nothing to do with the other. The Paddington Bear has nothing to do with the term patty that I can recall. Let me see. Hershey Chocolate didn't hire black people. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah. And being in Pennsylvania, being in a very rural Pennsylvania area, right? I mean, Hershey pretty much built Hershey, Pennsylvania, right? Wasn't that a town in his own likeness? I'm not surprised because even though those New England states being so far north, there was still a lot of racism in those. And today, even today, there's outside of the big cities, you just don't really find that many black people. Let me see there. Let's just send them a fruit basket. Yeah. Noreen Lovelock, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So Biden also repeated his mother's concern about showing undue deference to the Queen in his autobiography, Promises to Keep. This time recalling when I was told my mother I was going to have an audience with the Queen of England, the first thing she said was, "Don't you bow down to her." He went on, "Remember, Joey," he'd say, "you're a Biden. Nobody is better than you. You're not better than anybody else, but nobody is better than you." So, I kind of like her mom. The fact that she never actually met the Queen is a real disappointment because I'd paid good money to see that. I would have paid good money to see what was her name? Jean Biden. They called her Jean. I would have paid good money to see Jean have a visit with the Queen. That would have been worth it. And bring on the body language experts, why don't you? Really? Charles actually attended the funeral of John McCain as well as former President Bush? I don't recall seeing him there. Well, the Bush family is close, so I'm not surprised about that. But John McCain, because if we recall, what was Charles doing before the Queen died? He was sitting down with Jenna Bush to do an interview. So that doesn't surprise me because Charles and the Bush family are very, very close. And of course, George Bush Jr., not Junior, but the younger Bush, he actually said that she was like a mother to him or something. And so, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But John McCain, that's interesting. I wonder why John McCain. Huh. I gotta look into that one. Needs to concentrate on making the Commonwealth countries feel welcome since he is likely the last go around for many of them. Next coronation, if it happens, will most likely just be family. Yeah. Well, and it's not a foregone conclusion that the head of the Commonwealth has to be a member of the royal family. So he's lucky the Queen petitioned to get people to vote for him because they had to vote him into that position. And the Queen used a lot of leverage to make sure that that happened. So, yeah, that was something that the Queen really pushed hard for because most people did not want him. I thought the whole reason why people moved to America was to snub Britain and their ways. Just joking. Oh man. Well, there is a special relationship, no doubt, and of course that the mother tongue, as they say, is English for the United States. Although increasingly there are more people are learning to speak Spanish or are born into Spanish-speaking households. Also, I don't believe there is an actual official language for the United States, even though they like to pretend there is. The common language may be English, but I don't think we have an official language. Um, so you don't have to speak English if you don't want to. I wonder if that's part of the citizenship, though. If in order to apply for citizenship, do you have to speak English? I mean, they may have changed the rule with that, but it wasn't always the case. I think that is something that just kind of came along. Um, if it is indeed a thing. Okay. And then right here, Joe Biden's presidential 5-day trip to Ireland. Of Ireland. I'm sorry. President Joe Biden's presidential 5-day trip to the island of Ireland is set to begin north of the border. Mr. Biden is expected to fly to Northern Ireland on April 11th, ahead of a day of engagements in Belfast on April 12th. The whatever PA news agency is reporting, Press Association, I don't know. The United States president is then due to travel south later that day and will spend the remainder of the week in Republic of Ireland before leaving on Saturday, April 15th, as well as an official engagement to Dublin. Mr. Biden is expected to travel beyond the capital for a visit related to his Irish ancestry. The Democratic politician can trace his ancestry to Ireland's west and east coast, specifically Ballina in the Comayo and the Cooley Peninsula in, is that Coluth? Okay, so yeah, he's going back to find his roots. Let me see. Never been to McCain's funeral. Neither Bush. The media would go, wow. Okay, I thought it was unusual. I thought it was unusual, but thank you. I had no recollection of that. I mean, I saw where, I think I probably watched both funerals, and I saw where the VIPs were sitting at the time, and I don't recall any mention of him. Okay, so as they say, nobody F's with Biden. As a matter of fact, not they say that. Joe Biden says that as he was caught on a hot mic one day when he was down in Florida. I forgot what the circumstances was, but Joe Biden looked at one of the locals and just reminded him, nobody F's with Biden. Speaking of effing with someone, the Queen, the long-suffering Queen Elizabeth II, who refused to meet Camilla for years, refused to be in the same room with her, refused to hear her name, refused. She wanted nothing to do with her, nothing, nothing, nothing. And then one day, Charles orchestrated a meeting at the King of Greece's birthday party. And unfortunately, the Queen had no other choice but to be in the same room with Camilla. And one of the people on the social media said, Queen Elizabeth must be rolling around in that lead box. What sort of person wears another wedding gift necklace? Oh. It was a very sentimental piece to the Queen. The necklace doesn't even hang right on that horse neck. I did not know that that was a wedding present to the Queen, but apparently, according to this person, I could see why she wore it, because it kind of goes with those whatever types of things on the dress is. See how it points down? But oh man, I think that there should be a limit to how much jewelry of the Queen that she wears. Some of these pieces ought to just go into a museum somewhere, and that's where they should stay. In the modern world, it is becoming increasingly bad taste for the royal family to parade around in these jewels. So if Charles wants people to, you know what? I have nothing to say about it. Have the coronation, wear as much jewelry and pomp and circumstance and royal regalia, and enjoy yourself. As a matter of fact, I am going to watch, and that's one of the things I'm going to look for, is the parade of jewelry. Do you, boo? Do you? Queen and Camilla Antoinette, Queen of Versailles. So I'd suspect they won't ever go to Versailles. If they haven't gone this time, they're not likely to go. But I think that when I made this, it was about Versailles. really what it's saying is let them eat cake. Well, Camilla wants all the trappings that come with being the queen consort. And so she's going to wear more and more of the queen's jewelry. All of the stuff that Angela Kelly hasn't put in the bottom of the jewelry case, whenever she does find it, Camilla intends to wear it. And I kind of think it's going to just bring her a lot of bad luck wearing that stuff. But that won't stop her. And then, of course, people are still saying that there is a bit of a resemblance between Charles and Grandpa on the monsters. And yeah, especially with the red lips, the blood soaked lips, the blood stained lips. I can see that. But yeah, so he does have this grandpa monster thing going on. And then, of course, if he's grandpa monster, what does that make Camilla? Right? If that's grandpa monster, what of Camilla? I figured it out. There you go. Camilla as the queen, as the bride of Frankenstein. There you go. Camilla, queen consort, and bride of Frankenstein. Now that's a good fit, right? Or is that typecasting? It may be a bit of typecasting, perhaps. Maybe. Maybe just a bit over the top. Queen consort and also bride of Frankenstein. Now, right here, as a chartered psychologist, I decided to read Spare to learn more about a topic that is deeply interested me and the adverse childhood experience of children from materially privileged homes. This topic is thoroughly addressed within the text. However, I didn't predict that I would be left with such an aching sadness for Harry, his brother, his mother, and to some extent, that is, his father. Normal, flawed human beings trapped and tormented within a crumbling, cruelly dysfunctional gilded cage. So this was from the Yorkshire Bylines, of all places, and it was a recent review of the book. And so I only put a couple of parts of the review on the screen there. I was relieved to read that at least one of the therapists that Harry consulted told him that many of his mental health problems were likely to be rooted in post-traumatic stress disorder triggered by his mother's death and then exacerbated, that is, by events that occurred over the months and years following, consequently recommending that he seeks treatment. So that is something that Harry has been working very hard on, is his mental health. And I do believe he recognized, or he was made aware, that it was likely PTSD, and he's getting the help that he needs. So very good. And thank you, Yorkshire Byline, for reviewing the book. And then, of course, I think is this the last one? Maybe it's the last one. But yeah, so that's one more look at Harry from his trip to London. Little reflection photo there. And it's not the last one. There's this. The 8 women who command U.S. naval ships. Have you guys seen this already? Because this is new for me. I'm not surprised, but I've just never seen a collection of them in photos before. But these 8 women of African descent are all Navy commanders. You have Admiral Michelle Howard, Captain Monica Stoker, Janice Smith, Janet Days, Kelly Jones, Commander Kelly Jones, Commander Kimberly Jones, Catherine Wijnaldum and Commander LaDonna Gee Simpson. Never saw this before, but that is super cool. Now, I want you guys to guess which one of these women are now heading the largest naval base in the world. Now, don't cheat, you guys. Can you guess which one of them is actually heading the largest naval base in the world? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right. All right. No cheating, you guys. No cheating. No cheating. All right. I'm looking. I'm looking. I don't see it, but I'm looking. Okay. All right. So I'll show you. I'll show you right now. Check her out. Janet Days is the first Black woman named commanding officer of a naval station, Norfolk, the largest naval base in the world. Today's, what does that say? Today's Chanel Jones sit down with the Trailblazer about leading the 24/7 operation. They did an interview of her on the Today Show. Captain Janet Days assumes duties as Norfolk's Naval Station 51st commanding officer and the first African American female to lead the world's largest naval base in its 106-year history. Can you stand it? Now, this, I think she was promoted last month. And no cheating. This was, she received her promotion last month, I think it was. And so now she is heading the largest naval base in the world. If you guys have ever been to Norfolk, it is, that is like I think it's the home of the U.S. Navy, isn't it? I think that is like considered the home of the Navy. But yeah, it is massive. And so many people in the area are even civilian employees on the naval base. So there you go. And that is what she is in command of. So very, very cool. When I saw that, I was like, wow, wow. How impressive is that? And you know what? I'm glad that she doesn't have to wear those meter maid hats. I hate those meter maid hats. I think that the women officers wearing those little hats, I don't like those. I get that it's kind of like the feminine version of the man's hat, but they just look so, it looks like a meter maid. So I like when they wear the full size cap. Very cool. And also, you guys, if you remember this deep fake photo, I have to warn you guys about something. There is something called deep fake photos or videos. And I found out this weekend that you need only come up with a concept and the automatic, what is it? The automatic intelligence will come up with an image. And that is where these come from. So these are not just, edited photos, but these were actually created by a computer. And it is so prevalent now that there's this right here. This is supposed to be a, what is that? Boggiaga, whatever that brand is, collaboration with the Vatican. Well, that doesn't exist. This is actually just something that was created using the AI. And pretty much all you have to do is say puffy cape, coat, or whatever, Vatican, blah, blah, blah. and the AI goes to work and come up with stuff like this. Following last week's media frenzy surrounding the AI generated, see, there it is, AI generated photos of Pope Francis in the white puffer jacket, the Roman Catholic Church has announced its partnership with the luxury fashion house Balenciaga for a new menswear line. Again, this is not real. That integrates the aesthetics of Catholicism with contemporary fashion trends. The Catholic clergy wanted to appeal to the younger generation. What could go wrong with that? Who are abandoning faith in droves these days, as spokesperson from the Holy See press office told Hyperallergenic. So again, this is not real, but yeah, that's true. But Lydia, I got more. And then there's this photo. This is the last of them. And again, this is not a real situation. The AI came up with this. Now, what you have to watch out for, I was just looking at a news program the other day, and they were saying that, oh, well, okay, Alma Andrews, thank you for that. They were looking at I was looking at a news program the other day, and they were saying that this guy received a phone call from his daughter pleading with him to bring money because I'm in some situation. And the father was looking all over the house for the money, and he found some money, and he was on his way out the door. And his wife very wisely said, hold on, let me call her first. And so she called her daughter, and her daughter had no idea what was going on. And so the daughter wasn't in peril. She wasn't in trouble, but it was a fake audio of her voice. They can literally take a sample of anybody's voice, of anybody's face, and make something that looks very real, like these. So just to be aware of that, that is a thing. And so, oh, you saw that too, right? Right. And since we are, some of us in the Sussex Squad are older, I knew I wanted to make it a point to tell you guys about that. So if you receive any messages like that, and there's like money involved, I'm not saying that you always have time to stop and try to think of something like that. But if there's money involved, I hope that you will remember this conversation, because that could have lured her father into a situation where he himself could have been hurt. But yeah, they took a sample of her voice and said, whatever she said. And then someone else came on the phone and said, yeah, bring me the money. And that's very scary. Yes, Teresa McDougal, that is frightening. So there's a lot of fake technology out there when it comes to banking, when it comes to anything. So just as, like I say, I kind of feel like we're family here. And so when you know something, you have to let people know. And that's one of those things. So be very wary of things like that, because, we have to take care of ourselves and take care of each other. And you just have to be careful. So when in doubt, verify. As they say, trust but verify. So anytime money comes up, put the brakes on. If somebody's trying to pressure you and money is involved, put on the brakes. Stop and think before you act, because there are people that are losing their bank accounts and such, and that is devastating for anybody. But for someone who's retired and they still, are in good health and have life ahead of them, Even if they're in bad health and have life ahead of them, that's still your money. So just think about it. So anyway, I didn't want to scare you guys or anything, but I'm just letting you know what's out there. There's a lot of these fake voices, photos, and videos. And I had a friend that she told me something one day, and I said, "Where did you see that?" And I think she had saw one of those fake videos, and it was like somebody had got smacked or something. And I'm just like, "Well, where?" And so then she got angry with me. She got angry with me because I questioned the issue or the situation because I wanted to Google it to see if it was real. Because that's what anything to do with this channel, I always try to verify it whenever possible. Um, any slides, anything like that, I want to verify it. Like today, it took me a little while longer. I'm going to show you because I saw something that didn't look real and I wanted to make sure that it was. So that extra 15 minutes was this. I saw the Sunday People. I'm like, Sunday People? Is that a real paper? But then when I searched the story, then I found more information. So, because there's a lot of stuff like that on Twitter, you think it's real and it's not. So, you have to verify these things. So, when I hear some sensational story, oh, someone has died or something this, something that, then of course I start searching because I want to see it from a few reliable sources before I accept it to be true. Now, let me see. Those fake AI pictures of orange getting. Oh, uh, thank you, Marshar. I almost forgot about that. Give me a second, you guys. I almost forgot about that. I'm sorry. This is just the easiest way to get through this. Where is it? Um, I could, I when I saw this though, I actually had to go and search because I wasn't sure. This is the one that I saw. And I'm just like, that's not real, right? That's not real. And it was not. Okay. This one, I think this is also another AI photo, right? I think this is another AI photo. Beautiful, but AI photo. So it's not like someone has actually painted or edited. The computer generated this. Now, this I think is real. I haven't verified it yet, but wait, there you go. That is AI. And you know that those are AI photos. Although I think the one on the left is actually just someone doing a cut and paste. The one on the right, I think that is it may be a cut and paste. It may be a cut and paste. But you're right, Marshar. It is funny, and I do love those. So I think I've even had one where Biden arrested Trump. Now I know that was a AI fake, but oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh man, I would definitely want a front row seat for that one. So yeah, you guys, when it comes to artificial intelligence, we are in some frightening times because it is going to be so easy to be lured into some of these fake images. And even though they are fun, but they can also do the same with videos, I found out. So, again, you guys, be careful before you go and start telling everybody, oh, I just saw this or saw that. Do some searches on reliable wire services, um, and just make sure that the story is real, if for no other reason than to avoid any embarrassment or something like that. Um, just verify that these images are real, because Joe Biden, I mean, look at that. Look at how real that looks. Look at how real that looks. Now, that I'm sure is AI. I am sure that that one is AI. And what happens is when you ask the AI to make a photo, it gives you 4 choices to make, right? You get 4 choices. And the one that you like the best is the one that it will use as a template to make more photos. Got it? You get a chance to choose from a selection a selection of photos. So this is a thing. Oh, Monique Xu. I work at a bank, and it's a big problem. Yeah. We've become so dependent upon the technology that we want to believe that these things are safe. But, if someone snatches your cell phone and you have any banking information, if you think you have any banking information, call as fast as possible. Call your bank and shut everything down. Okay? Because when they take phones from people, if they have your password, and see, sometimes you don't know that they have your password. And I hope I'm not scaring you guys when I say this, but sometimes you don't know that they have your password. Someone else watches, and when they think they've seen you put your password in, then the other person that takes the phone is the one that will have access to your phone. And then the other person says, well, I think that was the password. And then the first thing they do is they lock you out of everything. So, I mean, as soon as you think your phone is gone, even if you misplace it, call your bank, shut it down. Call your bank and shut down everything as fast as possible. I mean, they could always, open your account up for you, but it's worth it for you to just shut it down, because that's what they want. So, and I think I'll leave it there, because there's some other stuff, but I I don't want you guys sitting up at night with your eyes like panning left and right in a panic. But just be aware, as usual, because this stuff is really getting out of hand, and the last thing you want to do is help the perpetrators. You don't want to be any help to them. I recently got my phone call on my mobile. They knew my gas and electric company that I use and the amount of money I had received. All of this was correct. How do they do this? Change my password. I don't know, Dorothy Ross. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. But just remember, there's no such thing as a lock that cannot be picked. There's nothing that is like 100%. The only thing that you can do to combat this stuff is to just be as alert as possible. The bar scam, ladies and gentlemen, don't let anyone see your pet. Yeah, and that's why I think I saw the same thing. Keep it close to you as possible. Yeah, don't let people see your password, because you're in a situation in public and you think you're safe, but they're not trying to hurt you. They just want that phone. They just want that phone because they want access, your emails, anything that they could use. They'll get, even if they get your social security number, that is a nightmare. And I have a friend that years ago someone had stole his identity, and I can't even send him a YouTube to look at without him being skeptical. And I think sometimes it's excessive, but I'm not the one who had my identity stolen. So, but just imagine, you guys, someone could take a sample of my voice and use it someplace else. I mean, it's out there. So, But you don't have to be a public figure for that to happen. If someone calls your house, you know, and you know how they say, is it okay if we record this phone call? Get thee behind me, Satan. So yeah. Anyway, you guys, but I think that's enough for today. I don't want you guys to be, paranoid or anything, but just so you know, if it has something to do with money, put the brakes on, because it's probably some type of a scam, or worse, but probably some type of a scam. So yeah, Hillary Clinton's reaction to Trump's indictment. What do you think, AI? And then all of a sudden, this was created. I think, and you know what? You could actually monetize those things, though. If you have been wanting to like get into printing T-shirts or something like that, you could always sell the images, but I think you have to pay extra to the whichever app that you use. But you could actually sell those images. Baron, I had someone use my bank card and went on a shopping spree, and I still had my card on me. Crazy. Oh, you must have got skimmed then. When they get close to your wallet and they run a skimmer, that signal that comes from your card. They have a device that's like one of those metal detectors, and if you slide it past someone's wallet, it will pick up the signal. Now, I have a case that I could put my cards in that blocks the signal. I don't actually use it that much, and I tell you, where I keep my wallet, if you can get any type of signal from that area, you deserve everything I you deserve everything I got. But no, seriously though, yeah, that's how they do it. So they're not expensive if you go on to like eBay or Amazon and get one of those cases for your cards. They do have cases that will block those signals. And also, if you have an older car, sometimes people can get the signal for your keyless car fob. There's a thing that takes the signal from your keyless car fob, and they can use that to get into your car and take your car. And it only takes them a minute to do it. So unfortunately, there's something for everything out there, and that's the unfortunate truth, is that there's always something. So, as I say that, I'm looking at my phone right now. I put one of those Apple tags in my car, and unless they threw it on the ground, then my car is still out there. See what happened? I'm sitting up here. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. It's called a RFID wallet. Thank you, Mackenzie. I'm sitting up here making myself paranoid, and now I'm just like, where's my car? Where's my car? So I had to look on my phone to make sure my car is still there. Okay, you guys, enough, because now I'm getting paranoid. Let me see. Audrey Teschner, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching. Royal Sussex, happy Saturday to you. Very cool, Elaine Parker. But yes, thank you so much, Mackenzie. That's what it's called. It's called an RFID wallet. And that is, thank you to Deborah Robinson. That is where you want to keep those cards, just so that they're safe. Okay. Yes, use my daughter's ID and travel with her names. Okay. Oh, very good. I have one of those money belt things that I use when I travel, and I think it's supposed to have the RFID. I have an email just for social media accounts. Oh, very good, Hazel. RFID wallets. I gave them as gifts 1 year. That is very smart. That is very smart. Now, see, listen to Hazel Jones. She gave away some RFID wallets 1 year, so that's very good. You know, and hopefully people use them instead of like, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Oh, and by the way, I know there was a lot of people in here. I see some people are dropping off right now. We are done for today. So if you guys if it's bedtime for you or something like that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Anastasia Isabella says, I have fingerprint scanner on my account, and I have my own private account and passcode. Ah, very cool. Very cool. Let me see here. Oh, thank you so much, whoever just sent me a PayPal. CP. Thank you, CP. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. All right, you guys. So, remember, be aware, be aware, be aware. When in doubt, or in other words, when there is money involved, put the brakes on, put that parking brake on. Yeah. Let me see here. Yes, Claudia Blanco. It unfortunately it is kind of scary. Yeah, it is kind of scary. But the voice thing, that just gives me the creeps. That gives me the creeps. Oh, thank you, Black Queen. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let me see. The only reason why they don't want people to wear tiaras is so they don't have to put one on Meghan. You know, is it Goddess Live? I was thinking that same thing. I'm like, the lengths they will go through to make sure, you know what I mean? The lengths that they will go through. That's like that. Remember that man who did not want to pay child support, and so he moved to Indonesia or someplace. He was so bitter with his wife that instead of paying child support, he just took himself off the grid and moved to I forgot where it was, Thailand or the Philippines or something. Now that's a lot of trouble to go through just because you don't want to pay child support. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people fake their own demise to avoid child support. That's a lot of trouble to go through. I mean, would you climb Mount Etna to avoid child support? Noreen Lovelock, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. I had been wanting to say something about it for a couple of days, and I'm just like, how am I going to work this into the conversation? But you know, you know what I mean? When anytime you could take something like that and make it seem real, oh man. But yeah, and this one, I mean, this one, of course, I love that look on Joe Biden's face. Oh man. All right. Okay, you guys, we're done. We're just hanging out here. So I will see you all tomorrow. What's that you got there? Thrive with Stride? Yeah. There you go. Let me see if I can find that on the other screen. How come I'm not seeing that? Let me see. Fortunately, I'm not seeing. Oh, let me refresh my computer. Maybe that'll do it. Well, I mean, not my computer, my screen. There we go. Okay, there's another Sussex friendly channel. Let me see. A man from Queen left his wife for 15 years, won a lot. Let me see. Left his wife for 50 years, won the lottery, and lied that his sister won the ticket and went to the lawyer to divorce his wife. I think I saw that. He died 6 months later. Now, you see what I mean? Now, that's bitter. That is absolutely bitter. Who's that bitter? I wonder. Who could be so bitter? But I'm telling you, the lengths that people will go through to avoid paying any money, it's cheaper to keep her. Ain't that what they say? It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. Okay. Oh, thank you, Olivia Harris. Olivia says, it's been swell, ladies. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for being messy, Baron. Thank you for safe space mods. Have a great day, a wonderful evening. Dance a little. It spreads out. You know what? And that is our last word for the day. It spreads out the farts faster. Snuggles. Okay. Well, then that's our last. That is it for today. Thank you very much. And thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your donations as per usual. And yeah, that's it. Where are our queens? Oh, there we go. There are our queens. Can't end without remembering our two queens. All right. And with that, love you guys. And I am going to, let's go out with Madam Duchess today. At what do you call it? I have to do something with these. Don't know when, but I will. Madam Duchess. There we go. Yes, it's not too late for Harvest Home. It's not too late for the Harvest Home. So if you have not made a contribution or if you have not used their wish list from Amazon, let me remind you guys exactly how powerful the Sussex Squad is. This makes me so proud of the Sussex Squad. I mean, there have been so many things, but this one right here, seeing a photo like that with a room full of items that they received at the Harvest Home because of each and every one of you that donated to that particular request for things. That was really, really nice. They had to call in help to help organize everything. hundreds of donations. We are especially grateful to the Sussex Squad for giving in honor of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Imagine that. I mean, this was kind of like that moment when they received that pallet full of diapers. Remember when the Sussexes sent that diaper pallet? Well, this is the Sussex Squad's contribution like that, where they get to work and all of a sudden, here comes the Amazon truck with a whole bunch of stuff for them. I hope that more than one person was used to bring all that stuff in there. But that is really cool. I'm surprised they didn't they probably had those big bags that they used at Amazon. But yeah, that is super, super cool. And the Sussex Squad did that. Let there be diapers. A bit longer showing the Queen. Okay. Let me see if I can grab that one. I love that. So funny. Let me see here. Yes, I remembered that. Of course, I did. That was from the wedding of the Cambridges, and I didn't actually watch the wedding, but I do recall that someone had posted that video, and then it kind of disappeared. So I had to go back and find the wedding. And since it's in the public domain, I don't have to worry about it because it's in the public domain. Since I was able to find it, I'm just like, oh yeah, I think I can do something with that. I feel some shade coming on for sure. And so I said unto thee, let there be shade. And that's exactly what there was, just a wee bit of shade. Yeah, it looks like Camilla has found herself in a spot of bother, as Nana would say. Looks like Harry's found himself in a spot of bother. Oh, man. Every time I see her, I get triggered. A spot of bother. What would you know about? Well, looks like her wig is in a spot of bother. Or just a spot. Let me see here. What am I looking for? Looks like Harry's found himself in a spot of bother. Let me see. Well, I tell you what, though, like I said, she wasn't always like that. When she was younger and polite, things were different for her. But that spirit, that very cruel spirit of hers, was done her in something terrible. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Someone asked for Trenchtown Man yesterday. So let's do Trenchtown. Here we go.
Yes, Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown want. Yes. What do you mean?
You know what? I just thought of another thing that they do now. Have you guys seen those videos where they strip the music away and you could hear the voice of the singer without the music? That's some type of program that they have too. And you know, there was a time when something like that on a home computer or any device would have been impossible. But now you can just get a computer program and it literally strips the person's voice away from the music, and you could see them like I've seen some with Mariah Carey. Oh gosh, what's the other one? Whitney Houston, of course. And I'm just like, how do they do that? I thought that was something like really expensive. Anybody could use that program. So yes, cookies and cream, $345 billion. What do you mean? $345 billion. So best to come up off the money because they want their $345 billion. Let me see here. Oh, well, we may as well do this one. Hold on. We may as well do this one.
Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being. And behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
Well, that was a little dramatic at the end, but then it wouldn't be me if it wasn't. You know how I like my dramatic endings. But give the people back their money. I like that when she say, give the people back their money. I'm from the islands. Give them people their money back. And Camilla, the wicked witch of the devil. Oh man. Charlotte. Hey Charlotte. Prince Harry. Yes, absolutely. That okay, yeah, we could watch that one if you like. Let me get it. Say, oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Give the people their money back. They're the welfare recipients of the British taxpayers' money. Oh man. Let me see here. Wait, nope, that's not it. I think I'm gonna have to post that one with William being shady. I'm gonna have to post that one on the make it its own video, I suppose. Wait, which one am I looking for? Oh, what about this one? What about this one?
Oh my God, I'm a monster! Oh my God, I'm a monster!
Well, now actually, I don't know what I was looking for. Which video was I looking for? Oh, yes. Harry at the court. Harry at the court. Harry's court dates. Okay. I don't know what I did with that one. That's weird. I thought it would be over here. Didn't I use that one over here? Let me see. Prince Harry's. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. That's it. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Okay.
Sir!
We love you, Harry! Love you! Say hi to everybody! Oh my God!
Oh my God, did you take it?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
This is so funny. We're just all sitting around. This is like when you call your best friend and you watch something on TV together. Ain't y'all got to get some sleep or something? This is so funny. We all just sitting around like we watching TV together. I mean, I've done that though. Been on the phone, watching something, just holding the phone. and must I say it, but this just goes to show that some of us have like some Saturday nights that ain't what they used to be. I remember those Saturday nights, I'd be here, there, and everywhere. Nowadays, it's just like it's just another night as far as I'm concerned. Oh man. Oh well. I guess that comes with getting older. Let me see here. That's right. The bed can't wait. Sometimes it feel like the bed got arms. That's one of those expressions the old people say. I tried to get up, but it just seemed like the bed had arms. I think that bed got arms. Oh, oh, let me see here. Well, I think that's it. I don't have any other videos to share. Nothing that ain't been seen again and again. Nope, not that one. I got to do something. There's a couple of them. You know, now that I can edit properly, like I was doing before, there's like so much stuff that I want to do now. So anyway, I'm glad I got my computer sorted out. I'm so glad. Oh, FK24, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for watching. Royal Sussex, happy Saturday to you too. Oh, thank you, Shelly L. Thank you for that. I like hanging out with you too. And you always think of some really clever stuff. So, especially things that it's like it's there, and for some reason I didn't see it. And then once you bring it up, then all of a sudden I'm just like, wait a minute, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I hadn't thought about that. Of course, if I had $1 for every time I say, I never thought of that, I'd be rich. I'd be rich as Roosevelt. I wonder if the Roosevelts are still rich. They used to always say that he's rich as Roosevelt. You're rich as Roosevelt. I don't think the Roosevelts was all that rich, but they wasn't poor either. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, but since we're here, let me see if I got something else. If y'all feel like hanging out, I know one that I really like that I haven't watched that much. Let me see here. And we already know about the handsome virgin, so we don't have to do that one. This one, let me see. I got to take a couple of these away first, though, because I don't want to overburden the thing. Let me see here. Okay, this one's always fun. This one is always a lot of fun. Okay, let me try this one.
Okay, story time. Do y'all want to know how I know that the haters are obsessed with Meghan Markle? Like, that there is a faction of people, like, who are just continuously spend all their time hating on this woman. And I wasn't sure until yesterday. Okay, so I was at the UN yesterday for Mandela Day, which, amazing. Rest in peace, Nelson Mandela. And unexpectedly, I saw Meghan Markle. And I have been the biggest fan. I just love her. I loved her wedding. I loved her on Suits. I used to read the Tig. I have been a fan since pre-Harry, pre-everything, okay? I used to read her blog. So, I got very excited and I tweeted this. Woo! Lamp. But I tweeted this. And this, for me, went, like, viral. Like, my Twitter sucks. Nobody follows me. Probably not very funny. So, this is the most, like, Twitter engagement I've ever had. And I was like, gee, why? Okay, I guess they love her too. That's great. But there were a lot of, like, oh, it's good for you. That's so cool comments. But there were a lot of, like, really aggressive, targeted, racist hate comments at her, at me. People were DMing me, coming at me. Like, really, really bad stuff. Like, some of the worst hate comments I've ever gotten. And as, like, a tester, I tweeted about her a few more times. I really am a big fan. Like, and these, like, this is more likes than I ever get on Twitter. I get, like, 20 likes a tweet. This is kind of crazy. And it continues, like, 1,000 likes a post. First of all, it was fantastic. I love her. I didn't get to talk to her. I didn't feel it was appropriate to, like, ambush her on a day of remembrance for Nelson Mandela, but I got to see her from far away. I took a picture for me. I'm not going to share it because it was, like, you know, an off-guard candidate I took of her. But, you know, anyway, it was amazing. But I am so shocked that, like, hundreds of people are attacking a teenager for being a fan of a celebrity or of somebody, like of an actress and I guess a princess or a duchess. Like, who? That's so weird. Like, people don't post, oh, I love this artist or I love anybody, and people just, like, pile on and call them names and call them racist things and are like, you must be a dumb brainwashed idiot. I was like, damn. So in conclusion, the comments are still pouring in, and let me just say, y'all are obsessed. Like, she has them pressed, stressed, obsessed, she got him. It's insane. And it's like grown men, random old white ladies, like, who spend their time posting the craziest theories, just the wildest stuff. And I was like, do y'all have a life? Literally a random white man DM'd me to say, did you know she's in the CIA and, like, spying for people? But you know what? Despite the ridiculous hate comments I got for just saying I love Meghan Markle, it was a crazy full circle for me seeing her. I love her. Like, when I was 15 or 16, I went to the UN again, or I guess before, for a charity thing that I was doing. And not only did I copy her hairstyle, I collaged it. This is a collage. Ah, the lamp again. This is a collage that I made when I was like, yeah, I think this is 2016. And there's me doing charity work because she, like, inspired me to, like, be in philanthropy and be, like, yourself and be glamorous while helping people. I love her. When I tell you, her engagement hair was my go-to hairstyle for years. This is my junior prom. I did the same thing for senior prom. I love this woman. I've seen all of Suits, like, quiz me on anything. I loved Suits. When I heard, like, the dating rumors, I was like, yo, Rachel Zane! Like, I love her. I love Suits. Like, I am very proud of having been a fan for so long. And she was so beautiful and so graceful and just, like, not calling attention to herself, like, really focused on the events of Mandela Day. Like, she was not... just really peaceful, lovely, elegant, quiet, focused on the speakers. Looking at her, like, made my day. It was just, wow. Also, fun fact, I missed my Yale tour because I was watching her wedding. I was in a hotel room, not in New Haven, in Hartford, and I had to get up and drive to Yale. But I tried to watch her wedding instead, and I didn't make it in time for the group tour, and maybe that's why I go to Harvard. I don't know, and not Yale.
Okay. Y'all still there? Okay. Okay. I'm just checking on you. Let me see. I don't want to do certain videos because let me see here. Right? I love that one. I love that one. She's very sweet. And I like that she had a photo that she just kept to herself and she didn't share it with anyone. That was very cool. Let me see here. You guys know Royal Sussex has over 900 videos now. Where in the world did 900 videos come from? Like 907, 906? I'm just like, when did that happen? Oh, this is fun. This is fun. I mean, since we're all here, let me see. This one is fun. I love this one. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan and Harry, have taken Manhattan by storm. This has been such a phenomenal visit. I don't have the words, so I'm making another video so you can get a chance to see the reactions of people around the city, the people they encounter. Like, for instance, arriving at the concert tonight in Central Park. Well, this afternoon, if you will. Tonight, this evening, this afternoon. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to say the Duchess showed up like a boss. Every place she goes, she's just the boss. But that's not to say she's a bossy person, but she just has presence. Both the Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, have presence. Harry, you know, we've known since he was a kid. He's always had that presence. And the two of them, they are the power couple. I don't care how you slice it. Just people react to their spirit. And that's the only way to put it. This visit, I don't care how much the haters try to diminish them, this visit is going to be one that we will look back and say, wow, I remember that day. Or I remember that weekend. So anyway, enjoy the collage I've put together. I'm sure you'll find it just as inspiring as I have.
So where does that leave us? My wife and I believe... My wife and I believe that where you're born should not dictate your ability to survive. Thank you, Nomzamo. Hello and good evening, global citizens. Look at all of us here, 60,000 strong, together in New York City! Are we prepared to do what's necessary to end this pandemic?
Hi, everybody. It is so good to be back here with all of you. Look, we know that it feels like this pandemic has been going on forever. We get it. It is a lot. And some people are just over it. But if everyone's over it, it's never going to be over. There's so much that we can do today, now, that can get us closer to ending this pandemic. And that's why we're all here. We're able to be here tonight because the most brilliant scientists, researchers, frontline workers, and selfless public health leaders have risked their lives to protect our global community. They are our humanitarian heroes.
Since this pandemic began, we've been talking to the experts about how we can do our part. This week, we sat with independent global health leaders to further understand how we get closer to vaccine equity and ending this health crisis. But we're battling more than the virus alone. This is a battle of misinformation, bureaucracy, lack of transparency, and thank you, Nomzamo. Hello and good evening, global citizens. Look at all of us here, 60,000 strong, together in New York City! Are we prepared to do what's necessary to end this pandemic? Yeah!
A question from Reuters. What are you planning to discuss with the Secretary General?
Dust. She just gave him a little dust. What do you think we're here to talk about? I love that.
What did you discuss with the Secretary General? A quick remark on the meeting?
Have a lovely meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm getting here. I'll see you when
Just a few highlights I put together. I have absolutely nothing else to add to this. I think that the Sussexes said it for all of us. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe.
All right. So you guys, are we ready to call it or one more video? How about meeting the Sussexes? How about that one? Meet the Sussexes. Oh, and to answer your question earlier, yes, we are still live. This is still live. We're just hanging out.
Service isn't loud. Service is what happens in the quiet when people aren't looking. It's about how we take care of each other every single day. It's about the camaraderie we share, the laughs, the comfort, the pain.
the challenge, and yes, the banter. Throughout my time in the military and after, I recognized and understood that many who have served or are still serving, it might not feel right to stand out amongst the team and be recognized, but you deserve to be recognized. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Salute to freedom. Those words were delivered by Prince Harry on the night of the Salute to Freedom Gala on board the United States aircraft carrier, which is now a museum. On that night, the Intrepid Valor Award honorees included Air Force veteran Master Sergeant Kyle Hines, surviving spouse of Lieutenant Colonel Matt Block, Barbara Block, Army Special Forces veteran Julian Kitching, United States Navy service member Wayne T. Garvin, and Marine Chief Warrant Officer Stephen Rudinsky. Julian Kitchings shared his experience that night, and it's actually not just his experience, but it was his wife's experience that caught my attention.
Sitting with Meghan, I think it was seeing my wife sitting with Meghan Markle. So here's what happened. We walk up to this table, and I didn't realize that they weren't going to seat us together. My wife was freaked out. She was like, "Oh, where's my name?" So she's running back and forth between tables, and she never went around our table and saw that she was seated next to Meghan. And then she lights up and she said, "Oh, I'm good, honey." I'm like, "Oh," so now she doesn't want to sit next to me anymore. She was so happy. And they just talked like old friends the whole night. So it was so cool for her to be able to have that experience. I think it was really good. And it was great for me to just watch her. She was just glowing all night long. It was surreal, but also like a deep sense of gratitude, and also a sense that the journey that I was on was necessary, and that the healing that I attained, that I was able to get at home base, was something that I almost owed to my family. I was very thankful to see people in all these different spaces and places elevating this issue of people needing to getting the help that they needed. And I think for me, there was this sense at some point, and I can't remember when it popped in my head, but that I was going to get healed or die trying. And I wanted people to, I think in that moment on the Intrepid, I think I was just like, people need to get the help. And and I think what I said was that veterans out there, deserve peace. They deserve happiness. They don't have to live like this, and help is available. And so I think that if anything, I was just focused on like being up there on stage is just a representation of people that are making a choice to get help. And that's what's important. That's what's key. That's what's critical. It's not about Julian Kitchen getting an award. It's about the broader community getting the help that they deserve and that they need, and that we as a country and civic society owe them.
One of the best moments of the night, especially for Julian Kitching, was not just noticing that his wife had the delight of sitting next to the Duchess of Sussex. Regretfully, I cannot find a clear image of that, but there was also the moment when the Duchess of Sussex said,
Northwestern, right? Oh,
I mean, you could barely hear it, but the Duchess said, "Northwestern, right?" And he said, "Who told you?" And she said, "Oh, well, I know a little bit about everybody here." And he just threw his head back and laughed. I mean, that's all he could do, because he was like just amazed that the Duchess of Sussex actually had done her research before showing up to this wonderful event. So just goes to show you how in touch the Sussexes are. They don't take anything for granted, and they don't take anybody for granted. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section Meghan Markle has done it again. Her status as a fashion icon endures. The Dior handbag that she used while she was in New York City, they said it actually pays tribute to Princess Diana. It sold out online like within 2 hours, I think they said. 2 hours? That Saturday that the Duchess attended the Global Citizens concert in New York, it was noticed that she had a Dior handbag. The Duchess of Sussex was seen holding a Lady D Light bag, a sister bag of the Dior handbag named for Princess Diana. The handbag, which is sold out, it sells for $4,900 US. It is sold out online, but you can receive an email alert. So if you are interested in purchasing that bag, again, it's only $4,900. That is the Lady D Light bag from Dior. Another one of those magic moments of the Duchess of Sussex and Dior, of course, was when she wore the Medi dress, which has the boat neck collar, and it's in a very dark navy blue. And of course, she wore a fascinator. It was for the RAF 100th anniversary or 100th birthday celebration that they had at the Buckingham Palace. That particular day, they said the dress was kind of like a homage to the wedding dress, which of course it does have the very similar silhouette. Before the Duke and Duchess of Sussex settled into Montecito, there was a lot of discussion on what they may or may not do to earn a living. And so far, we know about the Netflix and the Spotify, and of course, with the foundation and of course the Archwell production company, they have more than enough to keep them busy. Right now, I wouldn't even speculate about any type of brand. Okay, so let's close out today with with what is it? That roundabout way allegedly led to the loss of. Okay, this one. Well, you guys know which one, right? There we go. All right, so I had to try to find the beginning of it. Oh, thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. And that's something I miss is actually editing videos. So I'm looking forward to doing quite a few more of those edits. Well, I did do a few in the past week, so I'm back. I may have to get some new software though. Just to try something different because I'm like using the same format. So that'll be something that I work on. All right. So we'll close it out with this one. Thank you so much, you guys. And thanks again, moderators. And yes, exactly. That's the one. Okay. See you guys. And let's do this. Reflecting anything from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.